Ladies and gentlemen, it's once again time for AOR with another race brought to you on this lovely Sunday evening for what is gonna be Spain and Barcelona, Circuit de Catalunya, Barcelona, for race number 11 in season 28. And we only have a couple of more races after this one, including China, Austria, Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi, and the finale in Brazil. My name is Hermann the German, once again your commentator and broadcaster for tonight, and as usual, some things to talk about. First off, the track that has been remodeled in a slight way, which was the turns 14-15 chicane, is now gone, and we have once again made that a flat and especially fast turn that enables overtaking into turn 1 on that long main straight. And as you all know, this is the most common test track and people have lots and lots of data on it. And yeah, we're gonna have to see who is gonna improve on their advancement throughout the Drivers' Championship standings as well as the Constructors' World Championship. We have an exciting test of speed and ability in front of us with a turn 9 to 10, the second DRS, and obviously on the main straight, the main and prime overtaking opportunity. A lot of medium speed corners, turn 3, of the longer and high speed ones, and then you can basically see how people throw it in for 14 and make a pass down the inside maybe at the end of the straight. There have been no changes to the lineup, so we are moving to what was our latest result in this season championship. And Rising Moon actually decided not to take part in the qualifying last time out in Portimao as we had a race in the neighboring country of Spain. And he won that by just a tiny bit, and mainly because Cypher, who finished in second for the first time this season after being signed up from the second tier, got a late 3-second time penalty, and he wasn't able to capitalize off of the Mercedes penalty. Tesek once again a strong showing in third. One of the guys that has had a record numbers of third places, and that is 4 to his name on his only podiums throughout the season. And that is quite a feat, if you ask me. Then we had a good, strong showing from Pedro, who was personally my driver of the day. He excelled at managing his car and his pace throughout the race. He had damage to his front wing twice, and even managed to get the fastest lap at the end of the race. Solid Ninja Snake in P5, very good and strong showing for him. Certifying Mercedes in the Constructors' World Championship as the sole remaining leader after Glücksbirne departed ahead of last week. Karim wasn't his best race. Kramer 7th, Max Stuka 8 in front of Robert, his new teammate. Finally call up after Jim Wong left the season earlier. Gabriel 10th, Tobias only 11th this time. A second debut race for Aerodynamics, who unfortunately did not manage to have the good race. Toro in 13th, although he only jumped in quali and didn't participate in the race, which was not well taken by anyone. And Tudor had a really poor showing and decided to call it a day early in the race. Drivers' Championship obviously means there's now 112 points gap to second, and you can see that Tesik is, closing in and is probably going to be our runners-up for this season if Karim gets it back together after 2 races that weren't in his favor. He may be coming back to that. Kramer 5th, then Jamie Hulev, Max Duca in 7th, and now our new P8 is Solid Ninja Snake up there with 39 points out of Ferrari's Tobias. Jim Wong now demoted, Prof has signed off, and Pedro is up 4 with 25 points now. And as you can see, he has only 2 point scoring events by Singapore and Portimao, and he scored 12 and 13. Cypher, is up by 8 as well into P13. Everyone else has been demoted and has not scored last time out, as we were unfortunately only 12 drivers. And the Constructors World Championship, it's gonna be Mercedes. V-Cup, aka Racing Bulls, are only there with 1 driver. And Red Bull is on the charge to overtake them. McLaren, they're probably gonna stay in 4th. Williams is under pressure from Ferrari. That's really good races, and as you can see, 30 points with both cars in Singapore, really strong. Alpine, they have to defend from Sauber with aerodynamics now being up there with him and maybe scoring some points. Aston Martin needs Tudor to score more points to stay in this fight for 7th. And Haas currently don't really have a driver that can do stuff, and that means they are staying in last. At least for now. And we are now heading into the session. We are 12 drivers again. Please not. Okay, we are gonna do the attendance for today. It's Cypher. It's Rising Moon. It's Solid Ninja Snake. Tudor. Karim. And Gabriel. If you're new to this, these two are not only sporting the Lebanese flag, they are also cousins. Then we have Tesik for Red Bull, Aerodynamic, or in this case, Aerodynamic. And we have Kramer, Rivershan as a reserve, Max Duca for Williams, and Tobias. Okay, I'm really missing Robert, and I'm surprised Pedro is not with us yet. That would be great. Let's see what the Discord says. Pedro signed off because of work, yeah. Two confirmed no-shows and 4 free slots. But Rivershan is taking 1, but overall we have 6 open slots. Yikes. That's kind of sad, to be honest. I loved racing in AOR back when I was doing it. I wasn't so far ago, so long ago, sorry. But yeah, certainly attendance has plummeted. But that is more thanks People not enjoying the game, I assume. I enjoy the racing here as a commentator. It's great fun, very entertaining, but obviously hurts when people are split on pace and you can't really do anything about it as a spectator. So let's see. I hope behind Rise Moon is gonna be close, very close. I hope, because there's no chance someone is catching him in any way. Maybe he's just gonna start from the back every ways. Obviously, going through 11 people isn't the same as going through 19. But yeah, would certainly up the entertainment factor. We are heading into the usual 18-minute qualifying session out of today's Spanish Grand Prix. As I said before, race 11 out of 16 at the, final part of this 28th season in AOR. Here for Tier 1 on the main split. The sole remaining split. Let's see what these drivers have to offer in terms of entertainment, in terms of lap time, and obviously Tyra is gonna play a big factor. I assume we're gonna have C4, C3, and Pastri has an arm injury. Let me check tires for you. C3, C2, and C1. So that's actually the hardest range. Maybe that's gonna mean soft and medium tires, but we have to wait and see. Anyone gonna do this mediums? I have no idea. We'll find out about that. Yeah, so for tonight, obviously, Tezik and Karim are gonna be our main focus once again. They are having a good fight for what is gonna be second place. That first shot out of the pit lane just oddly looked cinematic. I have no idea why. Well, Cypher's out on track. Solid Ninja Snake is. Also Rising Moon, which unfortunately means he's gonna be starting on pole. Oh, I have to unplug the wheel, sorry. Never had that before. Still getting used to that. Jesus. Everyone out except Tezik, Karim, and his teammate Gabriel. Cypher and Solid Ninja Snake are leading the way for the first attempts here. Also Kramer and Tudor. And now Max Duca starting his lap. And Rising Moon has actually pulled into pit lane. Second split is done. 51.088 for the newest addition to podium sitters in this season. And in AOR's rich history, That's probably gonna be second for Solid Ninja Snake. Only a 10th down though. Kramer next. Turn 13, turn 14. And Rise of Moon is once again doing the last to first, as it seems. And our pole position sitter from our pole sitter from Canada is into 4th right now. Let's see what Max Duca can do. He's actually fastest by 1,000 of a second once again. Rivershan has an invalid lap time. Next to cross the line is Tobias, also invalid lap time. The Sauber also invalid lap time. And also on intermediate tires. Yeah. To save a set. Well. 1,000 of a second. Imagine that stays there. And Rivershan is off the track. Is their second run for Tobias. That's cool on lap. And both McLarens are out. And 2 doors! That's the fastest lap of the session so far. Provisional pole position after claiming pole in Canada. It's once again Aston Martin on top. For now. And let's go on and let's go with Tobias on board to see a lap around this very well known track. Down the main straight, slight drop, and braking at this slight gap in the paint on the left hand side. Roughly 75 meters, and then you move to the outside at the exit of turn 3. Which is nowadays full throttle. Turn 4, very easy to get caught out. And into 5, easy to lock the front left. Run wide on the exit, but not too much. And then position yourself to the closest to the right you can. Don't run over the sausage curb. Use the maximum width of the track here over the crest of 9. Which in earlier days was also very tricky. And then this remodded version of turn 10 in 2021. Oversteer moment. Too much rotation at the wrong time for the Ferrari driver. And now this final flat out section where we go on board to finish off the lap. 13 and 14 very enjoyable nowadays. But that's only a 12.7 as of right now. Not fast enough to beat any of the current times set by 5 other people. And now Gabriel goes to P1. Is Karim faster than him? No. And by a long shot. Half a second down currently on his cousin that showed qualifying pace throughout the last couple of events. But is not or wasn't able to get a points paying finish out of that. Especially Singapore hurt a lot. Tesic just behind his teammate, 55 thousandths behind Kramer, and that's funny because Sainz, a Spanish driver, has also the 55. Let's see, there is Solid Ninja Snake on a run. What's Rivershan is outlap, so let's stick with the snake, snaking through this S section, up the hill, let the car do its magic, and now into turn 10, currently up by a 10th, and that would promote him by 2 places because it's that tight. And you can see how he's wrestling the car around. It's not on the edge. but is fast so far, and that's 63 thousandths, and now into 7th place. And that's a slow lap for Cypher. That's the start of an hot lap. Kramer into the pit lane. Oh, that was Tesik. Tesik set his time just now, and there's an improvement of 14 thousandths of a second for the Red Bull driver that now takes 3rd spot off of Max Duca, who just also started in lap. Let's go to Rivershan. Only 2 drivers outside the points right now. The only 2 non-points paying positions for tonight. Very tight angle. Not running as wide as Tobias did. And into turn 13 and 14. Onto the straight. Last usage of ERS. That's only good for 13.0. Pit lane for Solid Ninja Snake and Cypher, and Aerodynamics is next to cross the line. 12.7, that's just ahead of Tobias. Let's see what Max Duca and Kramer have to offer for now. Provisional 2nd place for Max Duca. Has Tudor answer to what the previous guys have posted? No, he's just starting his lap. Was a 2nd out lap. And you saw that Kramer pulled into the pit lane. So he wasn't happy with his lap, or he invalidated it. And now with roughly 7 minutes and 45 seconds, a lot of drivers are very closely matched. You can see biggest gaps are from P10 to B11 and from 8th to 9th. As Rivershan, the only reserve driver for tonight, is heading into the pit lane. And Tobias is starting another attempt here. Currently down by some. But as we did right on board with him, I think there's a lot of time to be found in turn 10. At least to 10th. And he has already found 2 tenths, which is good. I think 12.3 is actually very possible for everyone here. Let me rephrase that. 12.3 is possible for everyone I know of in terms of pace, because aerodynamic is very new and Rivershan is only in there for some races. Way better exit out of turn 10, and he still held that 2/10 advantage and brought that from the 1st to the 2nd sector. And now over the start-finish straight for the Ferrari driver, and he goes to 4th position! What a lap by the German driver for Ferrari. Over the line comes Karim now, and he jumps to 2nd. It's a McLaren 1-2 on the front row. He just beat Max Duca by the tiniest margins, as you can see, with 3 people with a 12.5 now after that improvement. And Timothy in the chat saying, Avanti Max Duca, careful not to start with div 50, yeah, very important. And Tesik goes to provisional pole position with 5.5 minutes left on the clock. Is there an immediate answer by Gabriel, who's currently in 2nd? Yes, there is! 11.660 for the Lebanese driver, who is currently on provisional pole position at the Spanish Grand Prix. Who's next to cross the line? It's not gonna be Solid Ninja Snake. He just abandoned his lap. What about Cypher? Looks like he's completing this one. Tobias into the pits on the right hand side. What can the V Cup driver do? It's only 8th at the moment. Slight improvement for him by 38 thousandths of a second, but that wasn't any much faster in terms of how to improve on your position. Wow! What a lap by Gabriel so far. Let's see if anyone has an answer to that. Kramer Bennett's second run. Aero didn't have a second run so far. Cypher didn't have a second run so far. They need to start improving. And now the biggest gap has formed at the bottom once again. 9th to 10th, roughly 4 tenths. 10th to 11th, 3 tenths as of right now. And into the pits. Oh, thank God I don't have to watch the pit lane. Rivershan is out for his final attempt or attempts. Depends on how much fuel he is using. But honestly, 3.5 minutes. I've experienced that myself. That's not enough time to have a second attempt. Especially since you need a cooldown lap for the tires to cool off and to recharge your battery. But obviously he prefers that open track with no one in front, where he's out of sync right now, and that means everyone needs to let him by on their outlaps to make sure that he is not impeded. And he's currently the only driver without a time that's below 1 minute 13. And he's prepping that lap. And we are going to go on board with the Haas driver here as well. Currently in 11th, using the ES charge that is spare for the drivers to use. 75 meters. Using that braking point, that little cut in the paint on the left hand side. Between 50 and 100 meters. 1.5 tenths found, uses maximum width of the track at the exit of 4 and runs over the track end at 5. That's gonna cost him his advantage. Lap time has luckily not been invalidated. Uses 5th gear for maximum stability and traction at a minor cost of acceleration, and he is actually up by 2.5 tenths. Waits for the car to rotate. Same line through here, and then he runs wide at the exit, and his lap is gone. His lap is gone. And he's the wrong way around for turn 13, and that is P11 and last position for the reserve driver in the Haas tonight. Is Tudor ahead? Or who's ahead? Cypher? No, Tudor. Tudor is the second guy. Everyone is fighting for that little bit of space, both with the Red Bulls behind each other. Led by the kickstop of aerodynamics. And Tesik is the last driver to start his lap. So we are fully focusing on the end of this lap from Tudor. Currently on a 12.0. And with just a 10th of improvement, he would also be in that mix for the second row. He did not improve. Or maybe that was the second outlap. Looks like a second outlap now to me. Tobias then. Currently 12.2 in that mid pack. Can he move past any of these drivers? Over the line for the Ferrari. No, slight improvement. Did not change his position. Cypher goes to third. Big improvement for the V-Cup driver. 11.8. Gabriel improves his lap time by 12 thousandths of a second. Can Karim put his McLaren back onto the front row? I don't know why he goes to the right all the time. He does, and he's close to his teammate as well. Next across the line, the Mercedes stays 9th. Then Aerodynamics over the line. Stays 10th. After that, Tesik to 3rd. And then we have Kramer last because Max Stuka headed into the pits, but he's also abandoning. So it's a McLaren front row lockout. And they, just as their counterparts in real life, have everything to lose. Just like they did in Hungary, that was. Yeah. Bit of a poor showing compared to his previous race results from Kramer. And strong from Max Stuka. Also Tobias, slight improvement. Didn't mean anything at the end, but 11.6 to 11.9 for P1 to P6. That is very strong. So I'm looking forward to that. It's a Lebanese all McLaren front row with Gabriel taking the lead ahead of Karim with 70 thousandths of a second. Tesik once again in his favorite position in 3rd, Cypher 4th. After that final attempt, Max Stuka 5th, Tudor 6th, Kramer 7th, Tobias 8th. Then with Solid Ninja Snake in 9th, Aerodynamics 10th, Rivershen 11th, and Rising Moon, who did not compete in qualifying due to technical, if you know what I mean, issues. And we are going to a quick break before we start with this race. Stay tight. And we are back for the start of the formation lap ahead of today's Spanish Grand Prix. And we are looking at the tires. And indeed, as I said it at the start of the qualifying, it's soft to medium or medium to soft, with Karim and his teammates splitting, as Tobias has left the session. Splitting the strategies. Tesik medium, Cypher medium, then it's Max Stuka and Solid Ninja Snake in 5th and 9th respectively for soft tires. The rest is on medium except Rising Moon, surprisingly, for hard. Surely you could take those mediums further into the race. I'm just gonna quickly check if I have Tobias as a friend. No, we wait for some time. Okay. No idea if and he's back. Yeah, short lap, fast, barely any. Well, what is the slowest point on this track? turns 10 to 11 maybe? 10 to 12. The rest is medium and high speed corners. That is a matter of fact. And we are awaiting the 5 red lights for this 11th race of the season. And I really hope that Gabriel can finally pull something together here as we go to 5 red lights. And we are racing in Barcelona. And there's a good start, I hope at least, because I can't fucking see it, for both of the McLaren drivers. And Calm has taken the lead into turn 1. How close is Tesik to the inside of Gabriel? Very close. Max Duca is racing Cypher for 4th, who's now losing that position to Kramer as well. And that's a poor start from the V-Cup driver, who's now dropped to 6th, is fighting Tudor on his outside into 4th. And now Tesik wants to get rid of the first McLaren as Solid Ninja Snake is battling Tobias into turn number 5, as Rising Moon has not made up a position as of right now, is fighting Rivershan and has dispatched him into turn 7. Now up the hill they all go into turn number 10. And this is the current positioning they are in. And now at the end of the first lap, Karim is found a way by. But you have to see, and I have to remind you, that there's a soft tire and an overall tire advantage for that McLaren that now leads the race. And there's Rising Moon pulling out of the slipstream and into, goes to the inside of the Kickstarter, who's locking the tire a bit there. Front right is gonna take a beating if you continue to do so, but overall the front left is the most working tire here, the hardest working tire. And the Solid Ninja Snake and Tudor having a bit of a scrap here into turn 5. Alternative line chosen by the Brits to attack the Romanian and the Aston Martin ahead of him. And now Tobias is under pressure from Rising Moon, nothing happening. There's a white moment, what just the before mentioned. And now Solid Ninja Snake needs to defend from Tobias to keep that 8th position. It does not seem to be bothered. It's medium hard actually. Okay, so soft people are running soft hard then. White moment for Tobias. And see who's pulling out here. That's certainly the Mercedes of Rising Moon. And before they hit their brakes for turn 1, there has been a shuffle in position. Tobias 10th, Rising Moon 9th, as Rivershan has taken 11th off of aerodynamics. And both of the, no, all 3 Ferrari powered cars are now at the back of the grid, with only one scoring 1 point as of right now. And Tesik is close to the back of that second McLaren. Kramer is making that McLaren Red Bull sandwich complete, as he's still in 5th ahead of Cypher, who lost the most at the start, from 4th to 7th. 6, sorry. I do know numbers. Let's see if Rising Moon's gonna beat that fastest lap. No, okay. And Gabriel is managing the gap to his teammate ahead and to the driver behind. He needs to be aware of how he cannot attack him, but also has the opportunity to make life hard for Tesik. Oh, and a lockup from Tesik. Too close to the car in front, and that means in this game, if you don't adjust brake bias, you are going to lose it under braking. And most of the times that means a spin or worse. And now this DS train of cars all in one shot after 4 laps. And to manage tires might need to manage fuel, manage ERS a slight, yeah, you still can overdo it with management to lose a position. If you are inside the DS train, and you can see that Karim has let Gabriel through and has not opened the door for Tesik, so that was quite a clever move. They are racing side by side though. Into turn number 4, don't do a mistake. Oh, and there's contact! Tesik was sandwiched between both of the McLaren drivers. Now Kramer has taken the position off of Max Duca, and now he's racing Gabriel around the outside. Tesik has an opportunity to take second place here, but the outside line for turn 7 is just too long. And on the inside, the McLaren stays ahead for now. And there's a wild moment for Max Duca again. Is that an opportunity for Cypher maybe to go around the outside for turn 10? And he does complete the move. And now Tudor is racing the inside of Max Duca, who just lost out massively on that wide moment at the top of the hill for turn number 9. As Rivershan has taken 10th ahead of Toby and Aerodynamics. That's the first penalty of this race. Kramer is fighting Tesik, and you can see that they have swapped maybe the strongest overall pairing in terms of teamwork and consistency. As there's a move for P1 once again. It's really hard to be conservative and not open the door for competitors if you're racing your teammate at the front. And that is some immense pressure, you can imagine, because if you drive into the back of your teammate, that's probably both of your races done. But you also don't want to ruin your own chances by being too gentle on them. And right now the top 9 are still within DRS, as Tobias has re-overtaken Rivershan for what is now P10, as they have unfortunately dropped back from the top 9 from the group. Kramer's fighting Karim into turn 1. And the McLaren brilliantly defends that from the Red Bull. And what would be really exciting and nerve-wracking fight with both Red Bulls and both McLarens at the front in real life right now is currently the agenda for today. And I'm just spotting a front right end plate loss of Tudor, who might be a bit in the way of Max Duca, Rising Moon and Solid Ninja Snake if his performance drops now. Right hand side wing damage on and clockwise track isn't too bad, but still not as enjoyable. And we just saw that they were really close together at the start of the braking zone for turn number 4. Nothing happening here. Karim is actually closing that DRS when approaching Gabriel. We can see that Moon just has taken the the Williams driver and is now into 7th position. Just a friendly reminder that he started in last after quitting in qualifying and is on hard tires as the only one that is. And aerodynamics is unable to follow this pack. Tobias currently is trying to close it down here once again, although he's not using any of his extra battery charge. And you can see that Karim is thinking about every door that could be open for what is currently the Red Bull in third place. And soon tires will be in question, and Max as well as Solid Ninja Snake have opportunities to undercut the whole field. Is that gonna be a swap again? But this time it's with Kramer. No chance for Gabriel. But there was a slow entry, and Tesik has received a 3-second time penalty. Not sure that will stand, because he will be arguing there wasn't enough space for me as Cypher goes to the inside of Tesik, fighting for that 4th place right now, which if the penalty stands, he will inherit anyway, as Solid Ninja Snake goes up into 8th position, overtaking Max Suga, who might be starting to struggle with these tires. And you can see Rivershan, after overtaking Tobias, has now closed the gap down to 1 second, as all of the cars except Aerodynamic are inside this shot at the exit of turn 11 and the start of turn 12. And we have a beautiful helicopter shot as we ride with Tesik, and let's see if Kramer has the opportunity to take the lead from Karim, and it certainly looks like it, and he has completed the move into turn 1. And Tudor's under pressure from Rising Moon, but with that damage, he's not gonna enjoy this. Forces more of his resources, forces his tires to do more work, because the understeer and right hand side corners, left hand side corner, sorry, is gonna affect him more than the others. And Tesik is still close here. How close is Karim? Does he go to the outside? He's choosing that line. There's no door for him to slip through. Just need to check something really quick. Okay. And Karim is still with him. Gabriel is also close to Karim, and Rivershan takes 10th because Tobias spun. Tobias spun at the exit of 12 before heading for 13. It's Red Bull v McLaren twice on this straight. And both McLarens are back together, and there's a slight lock up for Tesik, and now there might be a chance for the sister teammate in Cypher, who also has front wing damage, to take away a spot here, which is currently inside of the top 4 anyway, because Tesik has a 3-second time penalty. I highly doubt this is gonna stand, because it was inflicted upon him inside a battle, but I'm not too certain how stewards are gonna handle this, as we still have the top 9 in one shot, and we are approaching pit stop territory. I assume at the end of this or the next 2 laps, the soft runners will come in, and there's no pit stop as of right now, but for Cypher because of this wing damage, and Tudor's coming in as well. And another spin by Tobias, and now this time is with damage. Might bring a VSC. No, and Max Duca is also into the pit lane. And it is actually too hard, so no soft medium Rather a soft hard or a medium hard oversteer moment there for Gabriel, as he's fighting his car, and Karim is in need to do something. He can undercut both of them ahead and swap positions later if he wants. Corsa. Oh, and the slow moving Gabriel on the outside of 10 gives Kramer the lead of the race. Let's see what McLaren is doing. No pit stop from Gabriel, but Tesik. Into the pit lane he goes. Who is gonna lead this race at the start of lap 13? It's both McLarens around the outside of Kramer at the same time. The DRS advantage and the slipstreaming just too powerful to fight it off. White moment there from Gabriel. And Rising Moon is in this mix as well. And I feel like Solid Ninja Snake might be too far off now. Is there wing damage? Was there wing damage at Tesik's car? I don't know. And Tudor is behind him now. Certainly a good undercut attempt despite the front wing change. He is right with him. Just a friendly reminder, these top 9 drivers before the pit stops were closely matched throughout the first stint. And we're within the TS window of each other, and now Karim comes into the pit lane as well as Kramer. So no extension from the medium drivers past lap 13 as of right now. Let's see if Rivershan. No, Rivershan is continuing as now Rising Moon is fighting for that win once again. And this time it's with Gabriel. Let's see where Karim and the rest come out. It's gonna be close. Kramer, 3-second time penalty for Tudor. Kramer and Karim are fighting, and Kramer is ahead by a long shot. And Karim is actually going to mediums. Solid Ninja Snake also to mediums. How close is gonna be with Max Duca and Solid Ninja Snake? And it's close. He needs to take the exit route at. Well, he didn't properly use it. Like the 2019 horrible designed Haas over Roman Grosjean. So Tudor's gonna argue that he gained an advantage as they both fight it out, and Tudor is once again shoved off a bit. And there was no front wing change at Tudor at Aston Martin for that. So yeah, interesting. Gabriel has no other option than the yards, but I'm surprised they did not try an undercut, go to the hard and finish the race. So 2 drivers are trying to complete roughly 70 laps of the medium tires, while others are doing 8. No, hang on. No, that's more. 20. Some are doing 20 laps on the mediums, as both of the McLarens are coming out next to each other, and now the warm-up tires from Kramer might give him an opportunity to take second place off of Gabriel, who started on pole and was leading the race. And the next 2 drivers who are gonna pit are all out of sync anyway. They're gonna be 10th and 11th because Tobias is 12th for the moment, no matter what. And there's a spin from Rivershan. Not great from him. Really interested to see who is gonna take this one. Also, what is Rising Moon's plan here? Is he going hard Soft. And Kramer pulls to the outside. That is now the inside. And both of the McLarens are now split by a Red Bull. Both of the McLarens. Red Bull have completed a double overtake. Completed a double overtake on Gabriel. And Karim actually got away a bit here. 1.8 seconds. That's outside that DRS window. Outside that DRS train we had trouble with for the whole race. So far in terms of how we can pass. And Max Duca is once again off track. He's making that very difficult oversteer moment for Gabriel. Pit lane is short and currently I think Rosamund is gonna come out in 4th position and only 5 behind the leader as we have a pit stop from the Kick Sauber. And Kramer is being overtaken by Tesik. Is there a chance for Gabriel? Oh, they're touched! Huge crash! Huge crash between the Red Bulls and Gabriel, who has now lost his front wing and needs to pit again. He can go to that second medium. And he's lost his front wing left side end plate. Is there damage to any of the Red Bulls? Don't see it right now. No. Big oof for Gabriel. Without Tudor there on the inside of Max Duca. Oh, they're so close. Gabriel slowed that Williams down a bit there. Is he pitting? No, he's not. How's Cypher 10th? What happened? Oh yeah, the front ring. And for his troubles, Gabriel has received a 3-second time penalty. His race is just going from good to really shit. Because he was still in that fight for P3 and now he has a time penalty and a damage front wing to the left hand side. Where on check where the most corners are left hand side corners. So Tudor's damage is actually better. In terms of who is losing the most time and most aerodynamic power in the corners. Just stay with this. Cypher is currently benefiting from 2 time penalties. But I can imagine he's probably thinking about a finish further ahead than P7 right now. Pace wasn't too bad. Skyrim is taking River Shan on the main straight. Easy overtaking pass with the help of DRS onto the main straight. And Tesik has overtaken Solid Ninja Snake ahead. And we are seeing more moves. And Cypher goes to the inside of Gabriel as well. That was a bit rough. And he goes over the inside of the track in turn 2. No time penalty received, but certainly a warning for cutting the corner. And Solid Ninja Snake is really holding on to his very risky soft medium strategy. Lost out a bit by staying out. Soft tire wasn't in the working window anymore. And you can see that Rosamund has extended the gap to Karim by at least 3 seconds over the time. And now Karim is probably gonna try and take that away from him once again. Skyrim just sets the fastest lap of the race as we watch Tizik trying to defend from his teammate and Solid Ninja Snake, both of them with the DRS that the driver in front obviously does not have. And now the Red Bulls just swapped and Solid Ninja Snake has another Red Bull behind and another one in front. And they are looking very likely to take second place off of V-Cup's shoulders today in the Drivers' 10 Constructors World Championship, sorry. And Solid Ninja Snake is continuing with his good form. 5th last time. And Rivershan did not pit so far, so it's gonna even in 4th. Might be onto a podium if this continues. Tizik behind him, even if that penalty is revoked, he would be ahead. And the fight behind is still on. Pit stop Rivershan, and that's probably gonna be soft tires. Solid Ninja Snake takes 3rd position. And off goes Tizik. And softs for the Haas, yeah. Gabriel there wanted to have a look down the inside in the background. And after that mistake from Tizik, Kramer was a bit under pressure, and Solid Ninja Snake is actually trying to get away here. Roughly on the edge of the 1 second window, and there's a slow moving two-door to the outside of turn 10, which now results into an overtake by Gabriel, who's now 8th on track. And Karim is still nubbing off time from the leader, but he's gonna have a fresh soft tire that has quite an advantage, and he doesn't need to clear any other drivers. And Solid Ninja Snake is being dropped back even further. And with a lot of fighting going on, might be the case. Still. Let's see, 11 laps to go. 3 seconds down on his pace. 3/10, sorry. Nothing major. What about this one? Side for 7th. Razimun dominance might bore the fans. Oh, I know you! Pesagili? I have you as my friend. I think we also raced AOR a time ago. But yes, it does bore. It does bore the fans. And there's a yellow flag caused by Tobias. Turn 9 that was. And Solid Ninja Snake has lost his position to both of the Red Bulls. Sorry, sorry if I butchered your name. I don't mean to disrespect Finnish people. My heart is very big for them. So, sorry. Sorry for butchering your name. But glad to see you here. Yeah, so there's still a lot of time for Solid Ninja Snake to make this one work. And Tizik, if you think that penalty stays, then he can defend 3rd for Kramer. And Solid Ninja Snake is still with a lot of time left on the board. As Razimun does make a pit stop onto this, to the mediums actually, interesting. And after starting last, he's gonna be coming out behind his teammate in 5th. So no soft, but still a tire advantage. And the gap to the leader is now 7.7 seconds with 10 to go. Clearly achievable by a driver of his caliber. And we have, yeah, our first opportunity to really see how the teamwork between the Mercedes drivers is looking. Because Red Bull have shown it, McLaren have shown it, VCAP has shown it, as Tudor shows us how to exceed track limits once again. Into turn number 10. There's no real pressure right now for Solid Ninja Snake, but he has to be aware that there might be, or there will be, a move on the main straight for his position, very close to each other. Red Bull at the front does not have DRS assistance, and he moves into that slot. Does he go for it? Yes! Double overtake. Oh, contact! Tasing lost the car and they both spun around. Huge controversy at the start of a second stint for Rising Moon as Tasing just lost the car. Lost it completely. Hit the back. Well, the side. Rear left tire. Oh my word, Karim is now into prime position of winning this one. Because there's major front wing damage from the Red Bull after they sort of came back together. And that energy unloaded into each other's paths. Oh my word. And Rising Moon is not going to be happy about this. I mean, his championship is clearly done. There's no front wing damage. I correct myself. It's only damage to T6's car. So that was, I don't know who is to blame there, but it certainly seemed like T6 Corsa. But that costs extra time. There was a 6-second loss. For Rising Moon, he has to go through people who have a time penalty. Front wing damage. Oh no, oh no. Oh no. Rising Moon to the outside. Off turn 5. And gets by on Max Duca. And immediately charges at Cypher. They're banging wheels a bit, but he's through. And the next is the McLaren ahead. Just to remind you, tire advantage, the freshest tire of them all. If you discount just that T6 pitted. And Rising Moon puts in the fastest lap of the race. And Cypher's probably gonna overtake Gabriel as well into turn 1, and that is the case. And Cypher into 5th as River Shan has received another 3-second time penalty. And T6 is even outside of the points, and that is gonna hurt Red Bull a bit, but not too much. If Kramer's second, and T6 has decided to call it a day. And yeah, I don't know what he was thinking to himself right now, but certainly did not enjoy that contact and has left the session. Let's see if Rising Moon can get by and maybe sneak off a second place. If he would finish in 4th or 3rd with, 6 laps to go, as he puts in another fastest lap, that would mean that would be his first finish outside the top 2 in the whole season. He has not finished lower than 2nd, and that is quite a dominant performance, as Tuda has also called it a day. And now we have points for everyone who will finish the race. Solid Ninja Snake would have been a worthy podium sitter for Mercedes today. He has driven exceptionally for what he had to offer after Singapore. He was in that fight for the top 5. Fortunately, launched it too deep into turn 14 at the end of the race. Missed his opportunity, and R11 is gonna pass him. It's easy to take candy from a baby, and just like this move has been completed. Cypher still bringing a fight to Gabriel, despite the McLaren having a 3-second time penalty. Who's currently only gonna lose that position to 7th place Williams driver Max Duca, which is some good points, and despite the pole position start, he's gonna take that. Previous races he did not even finish. Now we have roughly 4.5 laps to go, and I think the 2.8 second advantage Kramer's holding is gonna disappear into the distance in just a couple of laps. And Kramer also only 5 seconds behind Karin, but I think that is impossible with the laps remaining. Also, Kramer is not the teammate of Rising Moon, so he just might start to defend this one and fight it hard. And Gabriel is back into provisional P5, so if I lets him go through there on the inside. Also charging his battery throughout the second sector probably. There's no real opportunity to make a move into turn 10 nowadays. It's not a heavy braking zone anymore. I don't know, F1, why you changed that. Yeah, and turn 1 in Barcelona needs also change. Not a heavy braking zone, medium speed corner. Does not invite overtaking. Just make the straight longer, I guess. Which technically happened from turns, exit of 12 to braking zone of 1. It's all a flat out section. And you can build up speed there and make a pass. And the DRS zone is so long, no one really has an opportunity to defend that. Only if you have crazy top speeds. But in league racing you don't have big gaps between driver setups in terms of top speed on this level anyway. I think Tobias' race, who's currently not in this race, was caused by the spins. Aerodynamics needs some more practice, more pace. Can't find that anywhere, and then they might be in that mix as well, but the rest has delivered a good fight today. And we're gonna see maybe another one, but with that gap closing, I think Rising might have opened up an opportunity on the main straight already. It's the 6/10 5.5. 4. That's close enough. Using overtake. 3 to go. 2 to go. 1 to go. Pulls to the inside and takes second position off of Kramer despite a spin that cost him extra 6 seconds. And he would have won that race. But he's back into that top 2. And only if Karim fucks it up on the last 1 2/3 of this race, he's gonna lose the win. Which I hope, certainly, does not happen. Karim has shown his pace and his potential, and if others get Resimund involved in incidents, he can happily benefit from that. Gabriel is still in 5th position. I'm just gonna show you the time penalties at the end of this. Everyone with a penalty has not exceeded 3 seconds today. And I'm not sure if Gabriel is gonna keep his one or if he's gonna appeal it. I'm surprised Max Stuka has not had one today. He has been off the track bunch of times. As Cypher is currently working on securing 5th. Is Kramer still close to Resimund? But there's no chance for a move anyway. And he's out of the DS window. Started on the soft, finishes the race on the medium. Soft to medium strategy complete by the McLaren team. Great teamwork at the start of the race to swap positions where needed. Defended from charging Red Bulls, from the charging Cypher. Karim, after multiple second place finishes, is gonna lift the trophy in Barcelona for the McLaren team. He comes across the line to take his victory in this season for the first time. Resimund second, Kramer is third once again. Solid Ninja Snake with a strong showing, undeserving of a 4th place. Cypher 5th. Gabriel is gonna be demoted and Max Duca jumps into 6th position. Cypher is next across the line. No pace with spins. And poor showing just means he's gonna finish in 8th because of lack of attendance and aerodynamics. Still has a whole bunch of work ahead of him. And Tobias is gonna finish off in 10th with a poor showing, a lot of spins and no pace, no confidence it seems, but still awarded a point at his teammates' home race, who sadly had to move on because of work and is no longer racing with us for this season. And honestly, who's my driver of the day? I have no idea. Let's see. I'm interested to Resimund because of the solid Ninja Snake would be good shot as well. Yeah, once again, Karim, second place for Resimund with an extra point to his name. Extra point to his name. Kramer third, 4th Solid Ninja Snake Cypher, then Max Stuka, Gabriel, Rivershan, Aerodynamics Tobias, Tudor and Tizik. Both of the latter not finishing the race. And that has been it. But we will head to some drivers' interviews and just stay tight, and we are back in just a couple of minutes. Okay, let's get started. We are back for some drivers' interviews after today's 11th race out of 16 for season 28 for AOR, and this time it's a McLaren on top, and it's Karim who takes the win here in Barcelona. Karim, how do you feel after this one? That was certainly a good race from you and your teammate from starting 1 and 2 on the grid. You had everything under control, fend off the pressure from both of the Red Bulls, and then after the pit stops and the late stop and crash, obviously, from Rising Moon, you got away with that and finished it off in first position. How do you feel right now?
Yeah, hi. Very, very happy. Finally, we were able to get that win. It's been a while. We're trying to get it, but yeah, did it in a nice way, starting 1-2, me and Gabriel, with an amazing pole from him. We felt like we had the pace all throughout our practice sessions, and yeah, we were happy to see that we were able to put the cars on 1 and 2 on the grid, and we opted for different strategies, as you might have noticed, me on the softs and Gabriel on the mediums. It was nice battling it out with the Tizik behind. And then, yeah, after the pit stop, I was able to benefit and put this gap with my teammate fending off Tizik at the back. So the gap was crucial for the end, and I'm very, very happy with the clean race that we put in and good pace.
Yeah, certainly you had that all under control, even in moments where you were going side by side with your teammate and one of the Red Bulls. The prime of overtaking opportunity on the main straight is very strong with the DRS after that removal of the last chicane. One thing, obviously, when it's that close in qualifying and your nearest rival and pole position setter is not only your teammate but also your cousin, how much of a nerve is that inside of you? And do you think there was a tiny bit more in there for your lap time to be in pole, or were you happy with your lap?
Not at all. With us, usually, if he's on pole, it's like I'm on pole, so we celebrate together. But yeah, he showed very good pace this weekend. He was very, very fast. So it's a pity he didn't get more out of the race, but definitely played a big role in helping me win. But yeah, it was a very, very solid lap. His runs from the first, second, and third run were all amazing. So I don't think I had anything more in my lap today. So separated by just a tiny bit, but GG to him.
Yeah, certainly. Obviously, that win is finally in your bag. What kind of targets do you have for the rest of the season, including the next time when we head to Shanghai and we'll be racing in China? What are your expectations and your targets for the next race?
Yeah, as always, try and push for the win. Try and put the car on pole. I did it last week in Portugal, and my cousin and teammate did it in Spain today. We were able to get the win. So yeah, more of the same, putting the car on pole and maximizing the result in the race. So that's always our target.
That is certainly very strong, and maybe some more luck next time, because I think there was another collision today. Yeah, congratulations again on the win, and see what you can produce with you with your performance and your teammate again in China next time out. Thank you very much for the interview, and see you next time.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Next is Kremer in third. Usually Tizik is taking that spot for the Red Bull drivers, but you have shown some great pace throughout the seasons as well, finishing third in Japan and in Singapore. Now you're back on the podium. Was it a surprise to you, or did you put some practice in? Because that train of 9 cars at the start of the first stint wasn't certainly something I couldn't keep my eyes off, and I wasn't sure who's going to take the podium. So how were you feeling inside that race, and how satisfied are you with that third place today?
I'm really satisfied. I don't think I could have done better because of the team play from the McLarens. But yeah, I practiced a little bit. As always, I didn't do good qualifying. But yeah, I jumped 2 cars, I think, at the start. Then I got in the DRS train behind Tezik. and we managed to follow the McLarens quite close, and then they got us on the strategy for Karim, but it was a good race, kinda clean racing with a bit of elbows out at some point, but overall I'm quite satisfied with the race. I don't think I could have done second place. Rising Moon is just too in another league right now, so yeah.
That is true. Looking at the strategy, obviously we had different kinds of strategies today. Some were opting for soft to hard, even some soft to medium, or as you said, the medium to hard. What kind of knowledge of tires did you have coming into this race? Because usually Spain is very hard on the front left, and you need to manage that throughout the race. So, what kind of approach did you take, and also how do you saw that soft start from the guys around you? Because obviously that is a threat at the start, and might come back to you as an undercut. So, how did you think about strategy, and how did that play out for you?
Well, I tried to go a bit for a default strategy, but when I saw the soft tires, I thought I'll just wait and wait for them to degrade, then overtake. That's what happens with Max Duca, I think. But after that, the McLaren did a really good strategy to how should I say it, to manage to let Karim go out, create a gap after the pit stop.
Yeah.
I got a bit stuck behind Gabriel. There was some contact at this point, and Karim managed to create a gap that I couldn't catch after that. So cheers to them for the strategy. That was good.
Very good. Nice to get your insight on that. Next up is China. What do you think of this track, and what do you think is possible in terms of your result there?
Well, I like the track. I never know the kind of setup I should take on this track, so I'll have to practice a bit. Let's see what works. I like the track. Let's see if I do, as always, bad qualifying and a good start. And we'll see how it goes.
Okay, looking forward to that. Thank you very much for the insight, and see you next time in China.
Thank you. See you.
Goodbye. And we also have V-Cup driver Cypher in P5 finishing today. Cypher, that wasn't the best start, and obviously compromised a bit of your position inside a train that was at times 9 cars long. And then I think, if I'm correct, there was some sort of front wing damage also to your car that you maybe swapped out at the stop and were in 10th place after that. Now you're in P5. How do you reflect on that recovery drive on that second stint today?
Yeah, I mean, considering that I had a really good qualifying, it's a bit disappointing to finish quote-unquote just in P5, but I mean, when I did my first interview after my first race in, I think it was Canada, I said that I just wanted to grab a few points finishes here and there, and considering I've finished second in Portugal and even fifth here, those are still quite decent results, and I'll just have to do better next time. Considering the incident, I mean, I haven't seen the replay yet. I haven't taken time to analyze what exactly happened in, I think it was lap 11. It felt like, for me, on the straight, Tesik was on the far right to the far inside, and I expected him to basically go into turn 1 together with his teammate in one of the McLarens to basically go 3 wide in there. And from my perspective, it looked like he just darted very, very late, or even in the braking zone to the left, and went full on lock up, and that was something that I kind of did not expect, and I just broke a bit too late and ran into the back of him, which then broke my wing, and I obviously then had to change my strategy. I originally wanted to go for medium soft, but I mean, at that point the hards were the only viable choice in terms of strategy. And I mean, I did quite a nice recovery, considering I was 5 seconds behind the pack. Fought myself back, got Tudor, got Max Duca, and even got one of the McLarens. So, yeah, I just gotta take those points.
Yeah, that's true. In races like this, you always ask yourself what could have been possible. What do you think was the maximum or maybe the target you were thinking of before that incident on lap 11 was happening? A lot of cars were inside that group, and obviously a lot of jostling for position, and the DRS trains obviously made that I pass you this lap, I get passed by you next lap. So what were your expectations going to that race?
I mean, after qualifying, I definitely thought that the podium was possible. But I mean, you still... I already knew Rising Moon is someone you just can't count out, and he will end up in those podium positions anyway. So I thought he's gonna be ahead of me, and then it's gonna be most likely Kerim and Tezik, because those are the two fastest drivers. Yeah, and I thought I could beat maybe one of them if I just strategize quite nicely. But yeah, in the end, it didn't really work out. Also, the second Red Bull ended up finishing ahead of me, so yeah. I mean, the main mistake was made at the start. It put me into a bad position. And then, I mean, stuff like the front wing damage, it just happens. That's just racing.
Yeah, certainly. Obviously not great when you're on the receiving end, but yeah, still something you came back from and finished in a decent position. Obviously, there's gonna be some time off again and a lot of practice for everyone to put into China. What do you think is possible? Can you maybe try to regain that momentum, because we are then start racing non-stop to the end of the season with basically 5 back-to-back races? How do you approach that next race in China?
I mean, from the last 5 remaining races, China is probably the second worst track for me. So I just have to wait and see. Especially after such a long break, you just have to adjust a bit and then kind of feel each other out. So I hope I can get another top 5 finish, but as long as I get points, I should be happy.
All right, see what you can produce in China, and thank you very much for that insight, and see you next time.
Thanks, see ya.
Bye. And that has been it for this race in Spain, and I've just been informed by the other guys inside the Discord that Rising Moon has actually taken the championship already. As we all know, Glücksbirne is no longer racing, and with Tezik not being able to score a good amount of points today, that gap is now increased so far ahead of the next guy that is still racing, which is still Tezik, because Crime didn't outscore him by the gap he is having right now. Oh, he did. Karim is now into third, but not second, so that means no chance for anyone to catch Rising Moon at the front. So congratulations also from my side, and that means we have already clinched a championship by a driver. A driver has claimed the championship already and I cannot believe I'm saying this, by race 11 out of 16. Very impressive and a strong showing. Congratulations to you, Rising Moon, and I think the next one isn't too far away from us, and that might be the Constructors World Championship for Mercedes anytime soon. As you are seeing on your screen right now, there's a bit of a break for us coming up now, and it's China on the 3rd of November. So that's some weeks from now, because of real life racing in the Americas. We are gonna miss stuff on Sundays because time and time zones overlap in this instance. And then we're gonna be having a quintuple header or something. I don't know the English word for that, but it's gonna be 5 races back to back in a row. And yeah, let's see who can clinch that second place in the Drivers' Championship. Tesik has taken a huge blow today, but yeah, Karim is gonna be happy about it and maybe try to take that momentum into practice and more lap time. Kramer obviously is gonna close in on them as well. And after that, it's just Red Bull v Mercedes. Red Bull v McLaren for the rest of the season probably. Other people have shown strong performances, and I hope to see more of the regular people back here soon. Hope you enjoyed this broadcast. Make sure to leave a subscription and come back on the 3rd of November when we head to race number 12 for China in Shanghai and the Shanghai International Circuit. Until next time, have a good start to your week. And it's been my pleasure to bring this to you. As always, my name is Hermann the German. See you.